of break. He just manages to laugh, and then bam, we're going to the next round. And Magnus is playing against Shimanov, both of them with 5 points.
Exactly. Julien Song showing great reaction time in his game. Now we have to show great reaction time by getting back into the chess here in round 6. It's the King's Indian defense. That means that the black bishop sits in front of the black king. This is a very counter-attacking opening. You can pretty much pre-move the first few turns for black. And here we see Magnus go for what we call the Samisch variation. White putting the connect 4 pawns on light squares here. That's a rock-solid center. It's going to be hard to break down, but Shimanov's going to try and chip away at those pawns a bit later. Anyone wondering why bishop takes pawn is bad? That's because the black knight will jump out the way, and there will be a nasty queen check. And that pawn now moves out of the way. This is such a key game. They've faced each other many times, including famously when Magnus arrived 2.5 minutes late in the World Blitz Championship. That was against Shimanov.
Oh, nice. And Shimanov, he has participated a lot in Title Tuesday, and he's actually doing quite well in the total overall standings because he has a 7th place and a 5th place. So he's gotten some points. He has 5 points. He's one of the players who perhaps most desperately needs a really good result to climb into the top 10 and really be in contention to qualify for the Esports World Cup. So this is important for him, and he has this opportunity now. He has 30 seconds more than Magnus on the clock out of the opening. It's a good start. Very good start. And the eval bar says it's been a good opening here for black. Normally computers like white's structure. They love this far advanced pawn. But Magnus, what's he doing there? He just brought his bishop forward, to this square. Then he's just retreated it back where it came from. Magnus losing a full tempo there, and this bishop gets in the way of his knight. It feels like Magnus not playing the best moves in the opening, now bringing his knight to the edge of the board. Wow, offering it to be traded. This is huge commitment from the world number 1. He's doubled his own pawns with that little transaction. Now he can push back the black knight from the center, but that would come at the cost of weakening his structure even more. He castles. And I'm going to say this is very, very risky stuff. Shimanov is a very, very dangerous attacker when given the opportunity. So Magnus has basically invited him forward. There we go, pawn pushes. Magnus's king is going to haunt him for the rest of this game. If Magnus can keep control, maybe it won't be the end of the world. But I do fear for him. Shimanov has got to be very happy with the outcome here. Oh, wow. Maybe he's seeking revenge because Magnus did win that game when he came really late to the game, right? Even though he only had like 30 seconds left. He did. I think his opponent was slightly put off, slightly disturbed by that. Probably the cameras as well there, just locking in on the dramatic moment. But Shimanov, he still has an extra few seconds here. But the position, he's got everything you want when you play this opening. You've got active squares, active knights, weak opposition king. The black queen can come forward later on. Probably not yet. It might get trapped there, but it might try and jump. This is very, very dynamic stuff. What do you think Magnus thinks about this position? Let's try to hear what he says.
This I was initially not convinced by. It's called...
He seems to be taking it very chill.
Yeah. I think he's trying to focus as much as he can because he knows he's playing someone super strong, blitz specialist, and he knows it's a crazy position. Like all of white's pawns, by the way, are isolated or doubled. I mean, other than this one, which sticks out a bit, it looks like a nice strong pawn, but that one's probably safe. Everything else is vulnerable. Queen and knight combo near the white king. It feels
one
shaky.
of the ugliest king structures I've ever seen. Like these 3 pawns that are in no way coordinated, a double pawn on the edge of the board, like, can it get any worse than that?
Oh, good question. Magnus, he needs to find some good moves. But first, his opponent is potentially wondering whether to sacrifice. There is the idea of taking this bishop off the board just to get the black knights access to all the dart squares. I think that's the type of move you want to play instinctively. But it takes a lot of courage. Down to 2.5 minutes now, Shimanov. Maybe the clock is going to be Magnus's biggest weapon in this crazy-looking position. And there we go. He plays the move I suggest, and the bar hates it, of course. I'm going to say it's one of the most natural moves, the most tempting moves, but it shouldn't be enough compensation for the rook for bishop sacrifice. Black's knights look like beasts. They look so strong.
But look, imagine how cool you feel when you just sacrifice an exchange against Magnus, and then you have 2 knights. You're going for the attack. I mean... I would do it just for show.
Exactly. He wants to be in the history books. He wants this game to be in the magazines. But it shouldn't be enough, probably because the white rooks are just going to defend really nicely. They're going to hold the white king position. Maybe the white bishop just drops back to keep everything nice and protected. I guess a rook is a rook, right? Better than those knights long term.
The viewers are also equally disappointed as me that Magnus is drinking from a normal water glass, and not his usual vase. Other than that, I would say the office that he's playing from, 10 out of 10. I like the jerseys behind him. I like the lighting. It looks cool, but we miss the vase.
Is that a Captain America jersey in there?
Yeah, I was wondering.
And Magnus playing for Team Liquid should now be winning. The black rook moving across is apparently a big blunder in this position, and white has a winning move if he spots that he just takes this pawn. There we go. It was a free pawn on offer. It's not even a sacrifice. The white bishop protects it, and some tactics in the air. Black's now counterattacking against the white queen, and the big question is how to deal with this. Does the white queen just shift up one square, keep herself nice and safe? That looks like the most effective. Hikaru is one, leapfrogging Magnus, but Magnus still has a chance to go above if he wins this game. Queen trade, he's trying to force the queens off since he's done the hard work. He's still up a rook for a knight. This looks like a great decision by Magnus. Queen takes pawn, met by a nice bishop block.
And we can also see that Hikaru has won his game and therefore now has 5.5 points, inching closer to the lead, but Magnus can leave Hikaru behind if he wins this game. Magnus almost has a minute extra on the clock. He's trying to trade the queens, and he has more material. It seems to be going in his direction. Magnus is headed towards 6 points.
Yeah, he's so close now. I don't think he's going to mess this up. There are some tactics. Knight takes pawn looks like the most tempting move in the position, to my eyes. But you have to reckon with black's knight taking this pawn at some point. That would be a fork on the two white rooks. You've got to calculate quite correctly. He's pausing. Very professional. I've noticed the top players, they play as quickly as they can. As soon as calculation comes into the mix, they slow down. Can Magnus slow down much longer, though? There we go. He keeps his time advantage. Knight takes pawn, hitting the black rook. That comes with a check. So the black rook has to move. And what to do now? Wow, Magnus sidesteps with his own rook, hitting this black knight. Counterattack. That looks very, very strong. That black knight, if it moves, will drop the pawn on the edge of the board with a check. So Magnus does trade off those pieces. He's getting closer now. He brings his rook up, again hitting the knight, hitting this pawn. Shimanov down to 40-something seconds.
Oh.
Probably not enough. Fallujah losing in the meantime.
Oh, wow.
Big developments on the leaderboard.
This is an important game, Magnus.
And there we go. He's going to get it. He's forcing the black bishop to give itself up to stave off checkmate. That will mean white is a rook up. Surely nobody battles on against Magnus in an endgame. A rook down. Shimanov does resign. Magnus takes the win, 6 out of 6.